Game 6 of Winner Stays On, and match point for Hera as he leads 3-2 in the Winner Stays On series. GiveUAnxiety and myself casting for you guys today, and spawning in the west of the map in the color blue. We've got Beastyqt playing as the Chinese civilization, and spawning on the... I was looking for red there, and I forgot that Hera's yellow again. For some reason, yellow. I'm like, where's Hera? Where's Hera? Hera is in the east of the map, playing in yellow as the Abbasid dynasty. We've just got... Wow, we've got the huge opening here in the middle of this mountain pass, interestingly. So, yeah, what are you thinking about this spawn? This is obviously a map that has so many different spawns on it. It can be very, very different depending. What are your first impressions of this one?
Yeah, I mean, this spawn is looking pretty nice, and yeah, like, as you're saying, it can spawn very differently sometimes. This is the type of mountain pass that I like, when there's just like one opening, you know, in the middle. This is the version I like playing on, and yeah, looking at the map more here, it is still very wallable. There's only one opening. Sometimes there's like a small, tiny, narrow path where there would be like a second opening to your opponents, but in this situation, there's just the one, so I wouldn't be surprised to see either or both players try to wall this middle one. And both these civilizations kind of shine in the late game, so it will be interesting to see. You know, the Abbasid, they like to build this fast second town center, get a villager boom going, but at the same time, Hera might not want the game to progress too late, because China is extremely, extremely good in the mid to late game. And, you know, perhaps one of the best civs, or if not the best civ in the late game. So, I think Hera will play boomy, but he might not go too excessive with the boom. Like, you know, you might think, oh, maybe he'll add a third TC, but if you do that, then you kind of push the game into imp. And I don't think that's what Hera wants to happen. And yeah, we're actually seeing BC send a villager forward to start the wall here.
Yeah, that was also, yeah, already going down, so... As you said, Beastie settling in for that Chinese long game, already making his intentions pretty clear. But like you said, I mean, I guess there was not really going to be anything else that he did here. It was always going to be an attempt to hunker down and stick out and get this game extended as long as he can. And at least that means we're quite likely to see Hera try to counter that in some Abbasid aggression, as he does in the meantime at least prevent the Palisade Wall being completed too early. That villager probably going to survive, because it's just 2 scouts. Maybe, yeah, he's going to survive. He's going to pull back, especially as he doesn't want to risk getting under the town centre when he's got those 4 sheep. But yeah, I don't think that BC's going to struggle to get this wall up, and if he can, he'll be okay. Now, is that... No, there's not a gap there. So yeah, it's...
Yeah, and this is that was pretty nice by Hera, training the second scout. This is forcing BC to respond, and he's training a second scout himself, and even a third scout, which... Oh, okay, Hera training a third scout himself. So, yeah, pretty funny to see these scout wars. You know, the scouts denying this wall from getting built, and, you know, it's so interesting. When you train scouts from your town center, the scouts take 20 seconds to train. A villager also takes 20 seconds to train. So if you're training a scout, you're not training a villager, which means you're kind of deleting a vill. It is a big hurt to your economy, but this middle is just so critical. Like, both players want to win the scout war, and Hera wants to deny the wall from going up. But, you know, BC now with the third scout pushing Hera back. Hera realizes, okay, you know, I just have to back up here, give up this location. Hera actually now diving back in as Beastie kind of walked away for a bit there.
Yeah, and that wall's still not being completed. Barbican of the Sun going down, which is that close enough to protect that wall? Probably.
Oh my God. Hera training a 4th scout and now even a 5th scout in queue, but
wow.
I mean, yeah, BC with 3 scouts, like, he's going to be able to defend this, and I think this is actually an overreaction from Hera, because if Hera does not kill a villager or deny this Barbican from going up, then he's going to be in a really tough spot, because his villager count's quite a bit lower, and yeah, this Barbican is now going to be able to get up with none of the villagers going down, so
Oh, wow.
This is looking really good for Beasty. Yeah, Barbican does get built. Hera is forced to retreat. He does lose one scout in the process, and actually, maybe he can still deny the wall from being built as the Barbican's a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The Barbican didn't need to be that far back. Like there was, similar to what you were saying in the last game, and that could have been maybe up here. It's I guess that berry bush is really annoying position there for Beasty that prevented him placing it right in the middle of that choke point. He really rather that berry bush, I guess, wasn't there. But yeah, Hera's doing a good job of just being very, very annoying and stopping that wall being completed. But that's a really nice move there from Beasty. He's changed the direction of this wall so it's within range of the Barbican. Look, now, if we look at the Barbican, yeah, that's really smart. If you look at the corner of the new wall, it's perfectly in range, and Hera's spotted that and pulled back. So very kind of heads up play. He's going to get that completed. And as you were saying, yeah, the villager count, it's going to be pretty significant. If we take a little look at the Hera's villager count is on just 25, and oh no, so he's doing okay. The villager count's
that's you're looking at total pop there, I think, for him.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. 23 villagers for Beasty and 19 for Hera. Yeah. You're quite right.
Yep. Yeah. So that's pretty rough. Like being down 4 villagers before 7 minutes is very, very significant. And yeah, I think we're seeing that this trade went really well for Beasty. Beasty essentially tricked Hera into overreacting, and he overproduced scouts. And now he's very far behind in builds. And this game is looking very good for Beasty. As you were saying, that was really nice, Beasty closing up that wall. And Hera's actually trying to play this aggressive. He's not building a second town center with a Bastard. Instead, he's going archers, but the wall's already fully built, and even without the wall, the Barbican's still kind of cutting off that choke point. And I don't really see what Hera could do at the moment. This wall is not going to go down anytime soon. He now has 5 archers, which are just useless at the moment, and he's behind in economy by a pretty significant amount.
Wow, yeah, that's tough. Golden Age Tier 1 now activated for Hera. It's gonna be, yeah, it's really, really tough.
Ram. Yeah, I think Hera might do an early ram because he is playing as a Bastard, and a nice civilization bonus for a Bastard is that they can build rams from the start of the game. Most civilizations have to build a blacksmith and then research siege engineering, so it's a pretty big barrier to building your first ram. But Bastards don't have to deal with that, which is pretty nice. So that is one option for Hera to get through these walls. Instead of building like spearmen or scouts to siege it, he might go for 1 ram here, but that's probably his best bet, his best option. But I still don't like the situation for Hera. He needs to do damage, and it's going to be so tough. He needs to get through the wall, and then he needs to get through the Barbican. And wow, look at this behind. BC being able to be so greedy behind this. He built a second town center, and now he's going to the Song Dynasty.
Wow.
So, yeah, BC's he's at 32 villagers right now. Hera's at 26 villagers. In 8 vill difference, 6 vill difference. A 6 vill difference before 9 minutes is very massive. And, yeah, BC looking to be in a very good position at the moment.
Yeah, and he's just hacking away at this wall with his archers, which is going to take... It's taken a long time. You suggested that, maybe a ram would have been more effective, but ram would have also been a wood investment that Hera's just not got or had at any point yet. So that's taken him like over a minute to get through that palisade wall. That's really, really slow, and I don't know if he's got enough units to really cause Beasty problems. The kind of problems he's going to need to cause with this production going on. He's just getting further and further away. I mean, he is at least finally in. So I guess and now he puts the ram down. That's interesting. I mean, the ram maybe would have been better before. Yeah,
this is not looking good for Hera. BC's now in the Song Dynasty. He's training the Zunu, or Chikunu, whatever way you like to pronounce them. And these guys are animals, especially against units that are not armored. They are extremely, extremely good. And Hera's stuck in H2. He has no armored units. Can't do man-arms, can't do anything. And these Chikunus are going to demolish Hera's army. And this first fight is going to go very, very poorly for Hera. Yeah, this Ram, and the Ram's going to now start attacking the outpost. Hera behind an eco, and watch these Zukunu go to work here. And yeah, this should be an interesting fight.
Yeah, he's got so many of them out already, and Hera recognizes he's got a big problem in his hands. I mean, Hera looks like he's not exactly sure what to do in this situation, because, I mean, this is a really tough spot. If you're Hera, you have to push. You have to push into an extremely unfavorable position. You know you can't win a long game right now. I mean, you're just so outboomed. It's just like... I mean, like, you couldn't get more of an outboom than this situation. He's going to be so far behind if this turns into a boom fest. He's going to be starting from such a big disadvantage. At the same time, that's enough. Chuko News, like, how many has he got there? 17 is enough that there's no real answer. He's now building a second ram. What's he going to protect these rams with, though? I mean...
Yeah, it's not going to go well for Hera, it looks like. And this is the thing, it's so tough to punish China, because the Barbican is so good at, helping defend. And, yeah, a lot of times players fall into the idea of, like, okay, I need to make Ram versus China. But, like, it's very hard, because it takes multiple Rams. Here we go, we're going to have the first engagement here, and... Hera doing a pretty good job controlling his archers. The one thing is that the archers do have, they have 5 range, and the Chukanus have 4.5 range. So the archers do outrange the Chukanu by half a tile, or half a tile range. So you can kind of kite a little bit, but and the regular archers are a little bit quicker too, at 1.25 speed, and yeah, the Chukanus at 1.12. So you can try to kite them, but it's definitely not easy, as it's just very tiny range difference and speed difference. And yeah, BC doing exactly what he should be. He's not taking these fights, like these early fights. He has 2 town centers. He's in Song Dynasty. He's just letting his economy just grow more and more. And he's obviously had an eco, and he's just letting his lead increase even more. BC could have probably took that first fight, and I think he would have won if he just fought there. But there's no reason for BC to fight at the moment. He's just still outbooming Hera at the moment. So, yeah, BC just playing the smart and just growing his lead further.
Yeah, and in the middle of this, a ram did go down. So he's just left with this one ram now, which is just not very threatening. BC's actually quite happy just to keep firing. He's not even pulling villages. He's just firing into it with Chukanus. They might actually, win.
Good. Yeah, they're pretty good at killing rams too. That's the crazy thing, because they do this burst attack, and rams do have 30 ranged armor. So an archer would do 1 damage to the ram, but the Chukanu, they do burst damage. So they have 3 separate attacks, which means. Instead of doing 1 damage like a regular archer, they do 3 damage to a ram. So they're actually not like horrible at killing rams. And yeah, the ram being unprotected, they can, it's going to be slow, but they're going to take the ram out.
Yeah, he's now building 2 more. Wow, that ram's gonna. Wow, it's just crazy seeing a ram go down to archers, as if they're gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as it's resigned just to go. And Hera's he's just making more and more rams, trying to pound them in, but...
Yeah, and right, it just clearly isn't working, and he's investing his economy into these rams, which means he's just falling behind in the military count, and at any point BC can just say, okay, you invested so many resources into rams, now I'll just fight your military, and I have more military than you. So, yeah. Hera trying to do a desperation move here and push the Barbican with rams, but... Oh, and look at the quick walls from Beasty! Beautiful, beautiful quick walls from Beasty. Sorry if I'm ahead of you a little bit.
No. What we see it, they're trapped. They're trapped. It's absolutely... Yeah. No, we see... You're not ahead. They are trapped in. They've got nowhere to go. It's brother. He's actually ramming his way out. He's ramming his way out of the... Oh, no. It's an absolute annihilation. It's horrible. The Chukanus lined up, just firing at the rams sitting there, desperately trying to go. And Hera retreats, having battered through. Oh, no.
That was beautiful. That was one of the best quick walls I've seen in Age of Empires 4. That was amazing. And yeah, Hera lost so much armor there. Beautiful play from Beasty.
And this game just looks... Hera's trying, because it's a really important game. I don't know what civ he's got for a potential Game 7. Maybe it's a civ. He seems to really not want to resign. I think he seems to really not want to play a Game 7 here.
Yeah, you definitely want to play your games out all the way. Hera is up to H3 himself, but yeah, in a very tough spot. And I think, yeah, as you're starting to see these archers being completely mowed down, is
oh my God.
When you do archers against Chukunu, the archers get demolished. Like, especially if you stand and fight. The Chukunu are so good. Such a fun and cool, unique dynasty unit that the China has here.
Oh, this village is going to go pretty quickly. And yeah, now it's Beastyqt camped out around Hera's base, and he's probably just going to spend the whole game there. I want to take a look at the villager difference right now. I think it's going to be pretty telling. 78 for Beastyqt against 46 for Hera. That's a yikes.
Yeah.
That's a yikes.
Yeah, yes indeed. And yeah, I think this just came down to Hera going for the incorrect strategy. It turned into that scout war, you know, to deny the walling, but Hera overinvested in the scouts a lot, and which put him behind in the villager count. And he didn't even really get anything from it. Like he didn't even deny the wall. He denied the wall for some time being, but then BC was able to do a really nice second layer there. And like, even if he denied the wall from getting up, the Barbican's still there. There's just no way for Hera to really push into the China base.
Although he's trying. He's trying to go again.
Yeah, he's going to try to go again here as Hera is now in H3. But yeah, these Chukunus aren't. Yeah, they're not afraid of Hera's mass at the moment. And yeah, now BC going in Castle Age himself with a significantly better eco. So yeah, BC playing this one really well. It was an interesting try from Hera, trying to be aggressive. I think Hera's logic was, as I was saying earlier, China is extremely good in the late game, so Hera wanted to avoid the game progressing to that situation where you're playing against, you know, late game China, which, you know, it makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, it's so hard to push China early on, with the Barbican being very good defensive building, and also being able to supervise military building, so you can get units out so quickly with China. Here we go. We do have the vet archers now going to try to attack here against the Chukunus. And the Ram trying to push through here, but even the vet archers, like the Chukunus, are going to deal with them pretty.
Yeah, they're getting shredded. They're getting shredded, aren't they? And I mean, it feels like this is one of those games that Hera might not realize how far behind he is. I think if he maybe knew this game.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to play your games to the very end because you never know. And Age of Empires 4 is such an interesting game where, like, it can be really hard to tell how a game is progressing at times. Like, you know, I played a lot of different Age of Empires games in the past, but you know, mainly Age of Empires 3. And when I would play that game, it would, like, always feel pretty obvious, like, who's winning, and, like, you'd know when to resign or just how the game's progressing. But in AoE 4, I think it's much different because it can be very hard to know, like, okay, maybe this village, maybe I have an eco lead, or maybe the opponent has an eco lead. It's much harder to judge games in AoE 4, which is a pretty fascinating thing to me. Here we go. We do have the Knights charging the Chukunus. This is a pretty good army from Hera, as he's going to now try to charge the clock tower, the B here.
Yeah, that B's going to go down, actually, pretty quickly, without doing too much work. That's quite an expensive loss. Another one behind is going to get off. A pretty decent shot. They're all very low HP there now.
BC with another quick wall. Hera destroyed the wall, but then BC rebuilt the wall.
Oh, the reinforcements can't get in. That's so good.
That is a really nice timing push here from Hera, but yeah, that wall is actually pretty massive, denying these reinforcements, slowing them down significantly, buying BC some time here.
You know, if without that quick wall, that I'm not going to say Beastie was in trouble, but that was looking pretty good. I mean, like, Hera got some knights in. He was about to start going and really causing some problems in the eco. That's crazy. That's real, like, that's high IQ stuff there, building that. He's done that twice now. And Hera's actually trapped with his army split half on each side of the wall, which is just not what you want. And well, not anymore. Now the ones on the other side of the wall have been shredded, and more walls are going down. And what looked very promising for Hera, well, not very promising, but it looked like a route back into the game that he might be able to get behind the eco and start being very annoying. Chance looks like it's gone as the Nest of Bees now raining havoc down on these archers. They've all lost quite a lot of HP, and a little bit of a problem there for Hera. Oh, very, very... Well, I'm not going to say unfortunate, because it wasn't really unfortunate so much as Beasty made a very, very smart play.
Yeah, very well played there by Beasty. And yeah, that was Hera's best chance with that timing push there. So yeah, definitely unfortunate. And yeah, Beasty he's in a very good spot. Massive eco lead, and now pretty good military. Nice little spring up coming out here from Hera. Being able to build them with the infantry of the Beastyqt just in the field is a very nice Sid bonus for Beastyqt there.
And you've got to admire the pluckiness. Hera's been very, very plucky. He keeps going in, like... A lot of times you'll see, especially at a lower elo level, that when you have your attack repelled, you'll pull back and try to, like, regenerate. But that will never work, because you're just behind. Hera's doing that. Like, the only way he can win this game is by keeping this aggression up and, I don't know, something just going his way, getting lucky, have one very big engagement, getting behind something. He knows he's behind, but that's the only way he could possibly end up back in this game. I mean, he's still likely going to lose. He's still very far behind, but he tried the only way possibly getting back. But this now looks forlorn, because this is just going to be... These Chicanoos are just going to shred what's remaining of Hera's army.
Yeah, this fight looking really good for Beasty, and yeah, Hera was aware that he was behind. Needs to go for the Hail Mary play, but yeah, Beasty holding on here and taking this game 6. So yeah, we're going to game 7.
And we have it. Your wish has been.
And I do know the matchup for game 7.
You know
because I figured out earlier. Obviously, both players.
All right, so that's we won't last too long. Yeah, we've got 2 civs last for each.
Oh,
we're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 civs last for each. So hold on, let's go back to the lobby screen and take a little look before. Hold on, one